Happy Wednesday, everyone. Today, Alexa, turn the volume down. Today, I am going to price and pick some markets. It's a video I did a little while ago. It's been one of those things that I've wanted to redo for 2025. So I'm working on that right now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to pick a zip code, probably maybe two, whatever the case may be. And I'm going to go and price it. I want to scrub it, price it, everything like that. The goal here is I'm trying to do this in less than 1 hour because it is totally possible to price a market and everything like that with AI scrub tools and everything like that nowadays to scrub it ready to go in less than an hour. So here we are. Let me just make sure all my stuff is good. Yep, that's all good. Okay, sweet. So we are going at it. All right. So what I'm looking for now, first things first, I'm going to use some of the parameters like Sumner suggests. That's like his main thing is he likes to see between 225 and 250 properties on the market active. That means it's an active market. That's like some of the main things. And he goes, 3 to like 50 acres, something like that, or sometimes more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 5 to 100 acre filter. Let's see. So I go 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 80 to 500. Yeah. So I'm going to go 5. Oh, sorry. I want 5 to 100. 5 to 100. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here. I want to do active. So I'm going to do active greater than or equal to 25. Less than or equal to 250. So the reason why he does these two are basically if there's more than 250, it's too busy. If there's less than 25, it's not busy enough to get enough activity. Totally makes sense, right? My sell-through rates, I want to look at, I really, pending and stuff like that is great to look at, but I'm not going to really shrink that down. What I really want to do right here is I'm going to take this, I'm going to do greater than or equal to 75 in 6 months. So look at that, 75 or greater in 6 months, and then we'll look at the 180s. The days on market is pretty important, but you know what? I'm not gonna sort that out yet. So let's do this. Let's go zip codes. Should have done that first. Okay, 520. Let me make sure all my stuff is still there. Yep, all my stuff is still there. Okay, so it looks like in zip codes, my parameters. Oh, there we go. Let me see if, yeah, all my stuff reset. Okay, cool. No problem. Greater than or equal to. Now, because I'm going zip code level, I should have actually done, I should do less. But let me just see what comes up first before I change anything. So my pending SCR for 6 months, I'm going to change this greater than or equal to 75. Okay. So let's see. North Carolina. Actually, this is Lancaster, South Carolina hits my numbers. So that's good. Let's see where else. So let me choose this. So we got, these are pretty great numbers. Days on market. 231 is a little high. Well, let's check it out. This might just do, right? There's 5 pending. There's pending 12% IPR. That's pretty good. 3-month STR is 28%. We have average days on market. The Genie is a little tough on the Genie. So let's do this. Let's go. I like to go to Redfin. So let's go Redfin. This was, what zip code was this? 29720. So when you get really tight on your parameters, you actually tend to like really eliminate a lot of the chaff, like all the stuff that you really won't want to see. But I might have to go down a little bit on my amount active, probably to like 12 to 15. For a whole county-wide, 25 is like a good number. But anything above that, it's really tough. So let's see. Let's go active. I'm going to look at 3 plus. So I have currently 45 active, quite a few. Let's check the solds. So what I'm looking for in the solds right now, I want to see, let's cut the sizes down to like, yeah, let's just do 100 acre max. I'm looking for just straight up flip markets. Actually, you know what? No, it's okay. 50 acres is good. Okay, so that's good. So what I'm going to do now, I want to look at some of these properties. So this is like a subdivision. You can see that. So that's another thing too, is like a lot of these areas that are building a lot, you'll see a lot of these like rural subdivision things happening. And what happens with that is basically throws your numbers off, because now one person's listing like 30 lots or 20 lots or 10 lots, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes they do them in land sales or auctions, whatever the case may be. So when they do that, it skews a lot of stuff. So sometimes you got to like take those out when you're looking at your stuff. You don't want to like use them entirely, because that's going to kind of skew your data a little bit. Okay, so property history, that's a public record sale, so that's not good. That's not going to help me. So let's go back here. Let's go to another one. This is probably the same thing. 94 acres. Yeah, public record. 5 acre lot, 17K an acre. This is November 11th. Look how fast that went under contract. See, that's what I like to say. This to me is like gold. Less than 30 days. Love it. Absolutely love that. And that was a 5 acre lot, right? 5.79 acres. Beautiful. So you're going to see a lot too. Like one thing I've noticed, and I'll continue to notice, is that anything under like 200K typically sells a lot easier than anything over 500K or over that. It takes a lot more time to sell those bigger properties. You're going to find your right buyer, but there definitely is a little time thing. It depends on the market, obviously, but it really does affect a lot of things. So January 2nd, they got the price change, and that's when it went contingent, 20 days after the price change. So sometimes you got to price it right, but overall, less than 60 days to go under contract is not bad. Get paid. All right, that's pretty good. So this is perfect. Okay, cool. I mean, why waste our time? This looks like a pretty good market overall. What I'm going to do real quick, I want to check to see how homogeneous it is. I doubt it's really going to be that homogeneous, but the Gini score was pretty high. So, yeah, see, what's this right here? Why did this thing sell for 360,000? So that's skewing our data. Why did this sell for 192? That's skewing our data right here. Public record sales. So public records, yeah. So all these are skewing our data. So I just mowed the lawn, so I'm having a nice beer with me. So why did this sell for crazy amounts of money? 3 acre, providing no 5-bedroom home. So it's already got a permit on it. So that could be one reason why it sold for more, right? Old growth timber, Nice square property. Okay. I'm still not getting why it sold for so much more, but that's okay. I don't have to understand it all, right? Now, I will say, look at the proximity of this property to Charlotte. So this whole area, this is York County right here. York County sells for more, depending on where you are, because there's certain good soils, bad soils in York County, things like that. But this area sells for more because of the proximity to Charlotte. So I will say probably anything in this northern area is going to sell for a little bit more than anything down here. Now let's look at our next acreage range. So like to look at these acreage bands and just check on my pricing. So look at this. They just did a subdivision here. Somebody did pretty good. 10-acre lots. They sold these. Let's see how fast they sold. Pretty fast. Good for them. They got 22K an acre. So that's really good to see. Like, one, I know that if I could probably do pretty well getting a larger chunk of property, a chunk of acreage, and chopping it up. It looks like they had double-sided road frontage, and they were able to B1, B3, B7, B4. That's pretty cool. So it looks like they have two different. I'm guessing B1 is getting access, maybe through a boundary line easement or something like that right here. Maybe it had a road, something like that. And here. Lounge here. Let's see if there's any more for sale still. Yeah, so it looks like they still have a couple units for sale. A1 is still for sale. Cool. Unit A1. Okay, so it looks like they have two listings up with the same unit. A1, A1. Wonder why A1 didn't sell. What was wrong with it? That's like the best property. It's a double-sided road frontage property. You would think that'd be good. Okay, cool. So I'm going to just price this market. Let's just do that. So we got 29720. So let's see that. Okay, cool. So let's go to data platform. 29720. 29720. Search. Okay, cool. Let's go filter parcels. Lancaster. 720. Acreage ranges from 3. Let's do 100. So 10,000 parcels. So I want to do out of state, out of county. At least just out of county. That's what I meant. Actually, you know what? Let's just do out of zip at least. There's 3,000 parcels. So let's do 120 months of ownership. And then let's do, actually, you know what? I don't have to go back that far. So 5 years is realistically like the best. So like, what's that? So 5 years times 5 years, 60 months, 2,300 parcels. Use me like you love me, like you love me. Open lien. Recording, financing, mortgage, interest rate, no structure. Vacant land only. Scrubbing. Remove landlocked parcels. Boy, let me tell you, she was the prettiest thing I'd ever seen. I'm going to do 70% wetlands coverage. Include normal roads, include local roads. Yep. Okay, cool. And then I can skip trace them if I wanted as well. I'm not going to do any skip traces today. So looks like I got 838. Cool. And now some room. Cool. So yeah, this is it. So let's go here. Let's go land, sold. I'm actually going to choose, I'm going to go back 2 years for my sold data. Because the thing is, the market didn't really change too much over the past 2 years. I mean, a little bit, but whatever. But this is what I like to do personally. I'll go back 2 years, just specifically in zips and stuff like that, just so I get more. So let's get it. Okay, download all, allow. Okay, here we are. We go team. We're gonna go county pricing. Oh, let's see. We are doing this in direct mail price scrub. Let's do price. This is hypergranular. So let's go. Lancaster SC 2929720. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to upload that Redfin list. Upload, browse. Long head, nice, cool beer, never broke my heart. Rings and football games. So I'm gonna go ahead. So what I do is I delete this. Let's go. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. Let's go this. Let's go. Where is that? I don't know why it's not doing it. Oh, because I gotta do it the other way. That's okay. So I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. So all these rows I could delete. I need state, city, post, zip, beds, baths. So this is acres. This is PPA, price per acre, location, square foot, lot size. See, these got structures on them, it looks like. So we're going to delete those. Okay, so what I'm also going to do. Okay, good job. Okay. So equals acres, lot size divided by 43,560 equals this divided by this equals that. Okay, cool. So I usually just like to reduce this down. Doesn't have to be that granular. Okay, so this is going to get this and this are going to get format, number, currency, okay, lot size. So year built. So I'm going to take out this, oops, this, and that. Anything that's got a year built on, I'm just going to remove. Okay, so that removed those. And then look, see all these? None of these are on the MLS. They're public records, so I'm just going to remove them. I have plenty of data here. Okay, so let's go this. Let's go create filters. Create filter. Cool. So I can delete this year built now. Okay, so there's 3 other ones right here. I'm just going to take these babies out. This I'm going to delete too. Cool. All right, so I'm going to sort by the PPA. And then what I look for real quick, I'm looking to see if there's anything that's exactly the same price per acre. Because if there is, then it's probably a duplicate. 21.5, 21.2, 2100, 22,000, 23,000, 25,000. Okay, cool. Let's sort by A to Z. Now, I'm just looking here, so let's check these acreage bands. So 3 to 4, under 5. So right here. Average. So we'll just do an average right there. So if I have enough comps, what I'll do sometimes is I'll break up these acreage bands to like 5 to 7, because I have enough comps to support my equals average. Why average, not median? Average, median. So median is going to take the middle road. Average is going to take them all divided by the amount. So either way works, but I'm going to delete some. Everybody does it a different way. I mean, at the same time, you're pretty much going to get the same. I'll do median too, just to show you the difference. Really, it's really not going to be much. Someone said it drives a memory. But it ain't doing day. Yeah, I've been sipping like and buzzing, shooting doubles like it's nothing, all or nothing makes you go away. I need something you prove, something stronger than I'm used to. Yeah, I've been pulling out too hard and feel like nothing's gonna cut it. That's the hard truth. Yeah, I need something you prove. All right, so let's do this. Let's do equals median. Let's run the difference. See how big of a difference that is? 17,000 for the median. So that could be, if I'm using average or using median, that could be the difference of me overpricing a market or underpricing a market. So that's why it's good to look at them both. But and also we still haven't removed outliers or anything like that yet. So let's do a comparison between the two. Okay. All right, so I'm going to look here. Okay, so I know I could do this easier, but this is working. Okay, so here's this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort these. Sorry, A to Z. Okay, so I'm going to just start looking at some of these. Why are these selling for like crazy amounts? Heading down south on the land of the pine, rolling my way down Caroline. Okay, so that I know that area was higher. So we could start seeing like a pretty big difference on a lot of these. So this area is less, this area is way higher. So what we got to start looking at when we look at this, I could do a couple things. What's better is typically when I pull my data, I would go here and I'd select pockets and like little pockets of data. Okay. What I'm going to do today, I don't normally do this. I'm just going to review some of these. And actually, I don't normally price markets anymore. Yeah, Cooper, it is a big difference between delta and median. So delta between average and median. So like depending on what you're at, which throws it off more, right? Is it the median or the average? So we got to look at the two. I mean, these two are pretty close, right? So that means majority of the market's selling for higher. Nice, Devin. Yeah, dude, Devin, if you have, go back into my videos, dude. I've done so many of these videos, market selection, all that stuff. Yeah, I definitely suggest you looking at it, Naomi. Let me see what this one is. Okay, so this is actually on the left side of the market too. So that's crazy. So this is really what's really tough when you get into these smaller bands and stuff like that is it does affect the value a lot depending on location and what you can do with it. I do see a huge chunk that are selling pretty high. If I were to go price this thing at like 39,000 an acre, I'd probably throw off like half my marketing, right? Let me check on Land Insights. What's going on here? Why is this taking so long, baby? Yeah, that would probably take me. I mean, that would it would throw off my markets if I just mailed this whole thing like this. So what I might want to do, and I might go back and change it. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to that one. Let's check these. So let's see, 43. So this is in a subdivision. So it's in a subdivision. It's got an HOA probably, something like that. It's gonna sell for more. So I'm gonna delete that one for now because I don't want to price my entire data set off of one property. Highly valuable, very rare occurrence located in the second phase of weekly. Yeah. Yep. This is another subdivision. What this does tell me, like, go market to that subdivision. Go pick that subdivision out later and market that one directly. 616, highly served. Van Wyck. After community. See, Van Wyck again came up again. So that's another one. I would specifically go market to Van Wyck, like that subdivision, for that reason. Just highway behind the street flowing alley, Van Wyck plus Reese Road. City water and sewer available. That's going to raise your value right there. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to actually take that one out too. Okay, so that overall dropped everything to 17K. So let's check this out. Why is this 31 selling for more? Looks like it's got a structure on it. Yep. It's got water access, all that stuff. So I'm going to take this, move it down one. $14.58. So that's pretty good. This is a low outlier. So let's see why this one's so low. Just kind of an odd shape, maybe. See how low it was priced? So it went under contract in 3 days. So there's way more in-depth ways of pricing this stuff. Like I could do like R values, things like that. It gets pretty intense, like if you really want to go into it. This is just very rudimentary pricing right now that I'm doing just to show like the basics. I don't want to get too in-depth because a lot of people, the in-depth stuff confuses people. So I'm just doing the very, very basics right now. Our actual pricing, I could show you, is like, let me see. Let me show you one of our, this is old. That's old. Let's see. Let's go direct. Let's go. Price and county is this. That was Dorchester. What did she do? She must have moved everything, but let's just take a look. So these are all our FIPS and everything like that. That's all, oh, these are neutrals. So our pricing is not in there. Come on, man. What's going on here? What happened? What's the other filter I had on here? Here it is. Okay, so go back here. Let's look at data. Let's go here. Export. Queued. Huh. Wonder why it's in this today. Let's check here. Hang on. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys a pretty cool thing you could do. So let's go to Google My Maps. If you guys have never used this is a pretty cool way to also do like something a little bit different. Create a map. Oh, sorry. So that's actually on my other business. Cash for land. There we go. Let's create a new map. Okay, so what I could actually do, well, actually, since I've already kind of selected this stuff, so what I could do is I go here, I go File, Download CSV. Okay, so I'm going to import a list. So let's call this one right here, upload. So I'm going to do by acres, continue, column. Let's do PPA, finish. Okay, so what I'm going to do, uniform style, I'm going to change this to individual styles, sequence of numbers. So I'm going to change this to by the acres. Okay. Where is this? Oh, it's not my data set. There we go. Sorry. Range. Let's see. 5 ranges, 6 ranges. How many ranges do we have here? So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to change this to 8 ranges. And I'm going to do that. Okay. Set labels as the PPI. Okay, cool. So what I just did is I created, this basically took all the data that I had there, and then I dropped it onto here. So what I could actually do is I could just filter all this stuff out and just show me all the reds. So the 3 acres and all that stuff. This splits it up evenly. I could adjust it more if I really wanted to. But what it does is basically drops it all a little bit different. So I could start seeing price per acres. So what I could also do is style by acres, style by PPA. All right, and let me just do ranges. Not available. Oh, because there's too many. They're too close. They're all different. So I can't change it because they're all different. But I could do by the PPA and stuff like that. So if I wanted to look, I could look at all the data that's on here. So however you wanted to really do it. So I could do this. I could just go by acre size again. Let's go back into ranges, acres. Let's do by PPA. Okay. So the reason why I could do that is I could start looking at this and I could say, okay, which ones are priced more, right? So I got 9 reds in this area. Or in total. So I got how many in this area? I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could go here and I could look at the price per acre, 41,000, 43,000, 68,000, 76,000. So what I just did, it's the same thing as I could do in Redfin. If I'm like here, I could do the same thing. I could just select pockets. But what I could actually do is I could go into here, plat it, and then I could just come in here and I could draw a map and say, all right, let's take this section right here and price this different. Let's take this section right here, price this different. Let's take, this section right here and price this different. So depending on the price per acre and all that stuff, I can kind of change things. You could see all south out here, there's not a lot of demand for properties that are smaller, right? But there's tons of demand in other areas for smaller properties. So it's pretty cool in that sense, right? Because now I could, I don't know what is taking this thing too long. Let you down. Why is this taking so long? It's weird. I don't know why it's taking forever. Anyways, I could kind of look at this and I could, seeing the map, I could adjust things based on that price point, right? So if I'm seeing a bunch that are priced differently, so like this whole area, I should probably take everything here and price these differently. So when I go pull my data set, I could plot it, pull it differently, and price it differently. So I could take, so I could select everything in this section if I wanted, let's say, and then export them differently. So that's just another cool little thing. So I'm not going to do that now, but let's go back to where it was. Outliers. Okay, outliers here. That's obviously a friggin' outlier. I'm going to have to click that one. Okay, so this is an outlier. Let's see what it's got going on. Totally fenced, all that stuff, cleared pasture land. So it's going to be way more expensive pasture type land like that. So I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to move this down. And I'm going to delete this one. Yeah, see the difference between median and mean, average and median? It's pretty much the same once you start getting close to it. There's not really a big difference. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to probably end up removing this one. What a shit listing. Yeah, so this isn't the actual parcel. This is like a whole thing. They sold this whole thing, different sections. So I'm going to remove that one because that was a subdivision they made. Okay, so the only one that I'm really seeing a big difference is, what's this? Why is this one 20,000 over? Just a nice parcel. On your dollar sign for a piece of mind. Come to know. You agree, have a drink with me, your glasses for toast. So a lot of these are crazy expensive, and it's going to be coming down to like the area that they are, right? So I can see there's a big stark difference here between these and these. So I'm going to take anything that's below 5 acres and price this separately. So let's go here. Because I have to go back. I could actually do that real quick. I'm going to go back and pull the data differently. So let's go copy this. Copy. So I'm going to delete all these. Okay, so now you can see right here, we have pretty good drop, except for all these. So the reason why these are crazy, I should remove these. So this was that subdivision that somebody that did. They did a subdivision here, and you can see they're all the same. So I'm going to remove these and watch how this works. So boom. And I got this huge outlier right here. So remove that. Boom. Perfect. See how this cascades down like this? 17, 14, 11, 9, 8. I got a 9 here, but I would say you probably pretty much everything. I would stop at 8 and I would just keep everything priced at 8K an acre. Maybe once I get above that, I might adjust it a little bit. Why did this sell for less? Yeah, so I'd probably stop at 8K an acre. All right. So I'm going to do the 3 acres right now. I don't know. Land Insights is actually taking a little long today. Usually I could pull a market pretty quick, but today it's fighting me. All right, we're still in queue. See, it's still in queue. Why is it doing that to me today?
This truck needs a half tank. These wheels need a 2-lane. This radio needs 3 songs to play.
All right, cool.
That dress needs to slip off. That hair needs to come down. Friday nights need to do what Friday nights need to do. That's the truth. Yeah, birds need bees and I.
Okay, can you compare the estimate? Can you compare the estimate with the LIA comp tool for the same property as a self-check? Oh, just to kind of like compare if my PPA is pretty close. Yeah, I'll do that real quick right now. Oh, I just did that. Okay, so there's my thing. So this is just the 3 to 5s. So I could see here, like, these are way higher. These 317, 25, 114, whatever. These are like crazy high PPAs. So I'd probably want to pull, wrong button. So I'd probably want to pull this whole section as a separate thing. So this is kind of where you get into this thing where you're like, okay, how do I pull this different? Well, I'm going to come into Redfin and download my comps separately from right here and pull these separately. And then you could see right here, like, let's just change this again. Let's go 3 to 5. Okay. 14, 17, see 94, it's crazy. 8, 16, 32, 43, 33. Okay, so yeah, 90%. Most of the expensive ones are all right in this little portion right here. Everything bordering York and North Carolina, it's definitely more expensive. So right then and there, you have to change your pricing and stuff like that. It's got to be a little bit different over here. So I would, Devin, I would normally compare them, but for right now, for some reason, I'm not. The data is taking a long time to scrub today. They might be working on something on the back end. Not too sure, but it's definitely taking a little longer than normal. So once that comes in, I could definitely let you know. But what I would normally do is I price everything and then come back and compare it with Land Insight's AI tool to see kind of how everything is looking. Yeah. And then I would just compare the two and see how everything looks. Let's see what this was. Services. Yeah. Okay. Still doesn't show up yet. So, yeah, the 3 to 5s, I'm going to price different. So that's pretty much when it comes to pricing, I would do that. And then what I do, I'll stack in my other stuff. So let's do this. Let's go here. Let's go 29720. Let's go filters, sold land, sold within 2 years. Perfect song. Okay, so what I would do here is I'm going to draw this little area, pull these comps from here. Actually, I don't even want to do that. I want to go here. I want to go back 29720. So I want to come down this line, come around, and come back up. So let's do that. Come down the county line, go around, and come back up in this whole area. Okay. So these are my comps that I'm going to download for this. So let's here. Let's go download. Okay. So let's go back. Something along the lines like that. And then we're going to go file, download. Oops. So I'm basically selecting out the different markets, the different ones like that. And then let's go file, import, upload, browse. So these are the more expensive. And then these are the less expensive. More of it. Live with me, man. Okay, cool. So the matter it is, I'll come back so quick. Happiness. Let's see if this works. Sometimes you could just do this. So delete this. I'm gonna go paste. Oops, it's the wrong button. So forget that. Drag that down. I'm leaving. Yeah, they could say. Unless they want to go out. Alright, I'll see you later. Let's see. Left. Okay, cool. Alright, so here we go. So I just basically did the same thing. So I'm gonna do filters, view freeze, one row. Okay, sort by that, A to Z. So this is the boring stuff, right? It's not sexy, it's not crazy, it's not awesome. This is the work, right? You got to do this stuff because it's how you send your mail, right? Pricing it, there's different ways to price things. Like you get crazy, you can not get crazy, however you want to do it. I get crazy on some of them, but I know this makes money. Just being very, very boring and just sending it out, right? This does work. So don't think it does not. It just takes a little time, and it's boring sometimes. So tis what it is. So here we go. So we're gonna go equals average. Okay, I'm gonna delete these 2 5 acres because they're throwing me off. So this is 19K. $19K an acre. I got an outlier right here. This 37, so I'm going to delete that. And I got another outlier right here. And I got this 10K outlier right here, so I'm just going to delete that. Okay, cool. So that's 16. What do we come to here? So I got insert. So they're being 2 separate. No, we'll stack it all once. So you could stack it all together. It's one mailing campaign. It's just pricing different. So we do is we create like quadrants and things like that. And then those quadrants we stack together. So that's the thing people always get stuck on. They're like, I need to have like, my county only has 300 records. Okay, well, combine it with another county that has 200 records. Now you got 500 records, right? So what we do is we just stack that. I could show you a list that I have. Here, let me show you one list that I have right now. And I'll show you how many different counties we hit. So like pocket, let me go. Okay, so here's a list that I have. And all these, so I could tell you right now. So this has got some filter on it right now. No, it's good. Okay, so the amount of counties I have in here, look at this, like Texas, Colorado, All these are different. Every single one of these is a different county, different zip, different something, right? So property, zip, state. Look at all these. This is crazy. Like some of these are 20, some of these are 10, some of these are 15, some of these are 100, whatever the case may be. But we stack this entire list together, even though they're all different counties, different zips, everything like that. And you can see our mailer code. Where's our mailer code? Legal latitudes, reference IDs are all different. So what we do is we create the list, stack the list in this one list, and then whatever. So once we create the mailer code, then we bring it over here and just create this whole thing. So it becomes this like crazy whole whatever. But yeah, this is a list. So it's multiple markets. Like probably this right here is probably like 300 or 400 markets. I think it's close to 300 markets, or actually no, I think it's closer to 400 markets totally. Totally all like stacked and everything like that. So this was one campaign we mailed out. So up to 4 or 5, we just pushed that out. So yeah, it's pretty intense. You can do it all different ways. Doesn't have to just, there's no one right way. Okay, so let's go back to here. This is I forgot to do this. Drink it too. On like medication. Medication. You. Okay, cool. So that's that. So now I'm going to go here. So A to Z. Okay. See the price difference? This is why you got to sometimes select quadrants. This is why like people look for homogeneous markets and things like that. But if you just go and be granular with your pocketing, like select certain quadrants, whatever, you could get super good pricing. Yo, Shad, what's up, brother? Oh yeah, bro, let's do that. Let's talk about home dispo. I'm down. Let's do it, man. I'm down, bro. Okay, cool. So look, let's check this out. So this one escapes excluded 3-acre parcels. So this is kind of like an outlier. It's a nice property and everything like that, but it is an outlier. I'm gonna take that out because I don't want to price my entire market based on a couple outliers, right? So this is that Van Wyck. See right here, that's that subdivision. So I'm going to take that out. That subdivision selling for way more. I'm not going to market my entire list to just that one subdivision's pricing. No, see, same thing, Van Wyck. Ain't it easy? Would I ever leave? Oh, no. Okay, if you decided to, so let's say I already did the data thing. So what I do is if I've already pulled my data, I could drop it into Google My Maps and then go in and select my data, like chop it back up. So I go into Google My Maps. If you go earlier in the video, I showed you how I just uploaded a list real quick to Google My Maps and it plats it all out. So I could go in there and then just take a section of that and pull it out, right? And then what I do is I typically take a screenshot of a parcel and then I draw my quadrants on that parcel, right? So I'll draw it on there so I could see exactly what it is. Let me see if I have an example. Team. So I got county pricing, direct mail. Let's go here. Let's do. Oh, let's see. Let's scrubbing. Comps compilation, hypergranule maybe. Pockets checks. So let's see. Copy price analysis. So yeah, so we do a county analysis. We'll go in here and we'll draw out like the county and break it up. So that's what we do there. That's Loudoun County. That was an old sheet though, December 2nd. County. We create groups. So that's another thing too, is we'll create zip groups. So each one of these groups. So what we do is we break it up into quadrants and we create groups and then create these like FIPS right here, this whole thing. So what this does is this teaches this to go here. So when I go to price it, I just put in a thing and it'll say like zip group right here. So it'll match the zip group based upon, it'll match this PPA based on the zip group that it's in. So each one of these gets assigned a zip group. And what it does is it looks up this zip group and then it goes back into pricing, raw data, zip groups, right here, sold data. And then we create, you could do filters and all that stuff. So what we do is we create these zip groups and then here, select all. Okay. It'll show me all the groups, right here. And then let's go for the condition. Select all. No. Okay. Okay, so see, I have all these zip groups right here, and that zip group is going to correlate to my pricing. So when I do my pricing right here, I create pockets. I create these little quadrants inside this, and then each one of these quadrants is a different zip group and whatever. So it does get pretty involved when you do it, but it's worth it. And these are all our scrub properties, and then from Land Vision, we pop everything here. What's this trying to reference? VLOOKUP. See, VLOOKUP, A2 pockets. This is looking at the pocket price. And that's that. So then that's all that. And then price. These are our total price properties. Everything's here with the pocket, the pricing. This is the pricing we put on it, 55%, or depending, we might do less or more, whatever the case may be. So Landon says a lot of plugins from freehand selection on the map. The same selection downloaded from your fan. I see Landon says counties of the map. Okay, so we can see here pretty stark difference between the two markets, right? So you got 16K an acre. That's my average here versus this one's 46,000 an acre. Now I do have some more outliers I want to remove because these are all that same bandwidth thing, but I'm still at 40K an acre. Okay, so let's check this last one. Okay, cool. So anything in that area I would take a look at and price this differently because that whole northern section of this county, so let's go back here. Let's go right here again. This whole northern section went for way more than everything else. So what does that tell me? Okay, I got to pull this data separately. I was hoping to price the market today, but for some reason, I'm not getting my Land Insights data today. So that's how we'll do that. I'm going to pause it here, but you guys could see like pricing wise, we'll create all these sheets. We'll go through everything. I can delete this one now. Okay, so I could create zip groups, and once I create my zip groups, then I could stack all this, but you don't even have to do that. You could just create two different pricing sheets, then just stack them together later. That's pretty much it. So I'm at 17K an acre. Let's go back here. I'm at 40K an acre. For the other smaller parcels, I'm at 16K an acre, 17K an acre. So that's pretty good. It was only that one small acreage band that really was the outliers, those 3 to 5s. Everything else is pretty simple. So I think we're good. And you can see the difference between the average and the median is not much. Right here, this is an outlier. We have two like kind of outliers here. I'm going to leave that because I'm going to go with this 14K average. 14K average, not median. So cool, guys. Yeah, it's a pretty simple way to price without getting too into the weeds with using R value and all that stuff, man. All right. Have a good one, y'all.